Mary Kay Cabot covers the Browns, a writer for Cleveland.com, The Plain Dealer, and a Browns analyst for WKYC TV. Mary Kay, how would you sum up the last 24 hours?
Well, it's been really crazy, but I think when you trade for an Odell Beckham Jr., you have to plan that you might have a little bit of zaniness with the program that comes along with the immense talent that he is at times. But it's been stressful on everyone. It's been difficult inside that building in Berea. There's been basically a firestorm going on in there, and it just needs a resolution.
Okay, when is that resolution going to happen?
I think it might take a little time, but I do think that Odell Beckham Jr. has played his last ball for the Cleveland Browns. I really think the only thing left to do is figure out some kind of an exit plan, whether that is a settlement that requires some money given back or whether it takes an outright release. Whatever it is, I think it's over.
Was OBJ at the facility yesterday?
No, he was not. He was told to stay home yesterday, and the same thing has happened today. He really is no longer a part of the team. And again, his agent is talking to Browns GM Andrew Berry, and they're basically just trying to work out some kind of an arrangement where he is no longer playing football for the Browns.
How long has this been building?
Well, I think he came into this season really committed to helping this team win and ready to go. He rehabbed from the torn ACL, and he was a good teammate and just the good citizen all the way up, I think, pretty much until he got one target against the Steelers in that 15-10 loss for 6 yards, one catch for 6 yards in a game in which they scored 10 points. And he was on the field for 43 snaps. So it wasn't like he wasn't out there. So I think that was it. I think his camp basically just said, forget it. We're done. We've got to get you out of here. And that's what happened.
But I wonder, and I don't know if you can tell us, does he think that Baker Mayfield is avoiding him on purpose on the football field, or does he think Baker Mayfield is just inept?
Well, I think it's probably a mixture of, and I don't know if Odell per se feels this, but I feel like his camp, his inner circle believes, obviously we know this from what his dad posted, that Baker wasn't going to Odell at times when he was open. And I also think that they believe that, that Odell would fare better with a higher caliber quarterback.
I'm wondering if you put this to a fan vote, do you want to re-sign Baker Mayfield to a long-term contract, a max deal, where you're going to pay him at least $40 million? What do you think the Cleveland fans would vote?
You know what? I think that the Cleveland fans are still, for the most part, behind Baker Mayfield. And I think that the Browns still believe that he is their quarterback of the future. At least that's the vibe I have been getting over the past month or so, that they really still believe in him. And feel like there have been some extenuating circumstances this season, injuries on the part of Baker and those around him.
Do you believe that he's the future?
You know what? I wonder sometimes if he is or not. I'm not as convinced as I was maybe at the end of 2018. But still, here's the thing. The receiving corps hasn't really necessarily done an amazing job this year. I mean, Odell has been a non-factor. Jarvis has been out of the lineup most of the time. Kareem Hunt is gone. I'm not ready to pass any judgment on Baker Mayfield this season until I can see him out there with a full complement around him. He hasn't had, again, Kareem Hunt, Jarvis, Odell. Not one game has he had that whole offense around him.
How close did the Browns come to trading Odell Beckham at the trade deadline?
I don't think they came really close because, he still has about $7 million left that he's owed this season. And I just don't really think anybody was willing to pick that up or could pick that up. There aren't that many teams that have that kind of cap space.
Handicap this team's second half of the season within their own division as far as just making it to the playoffs.
Well, it's going to be really tough. because of what those Cincinnati Bengals are doing. And this game on Sunday is enormous. And you can hear Kevin Stefanski talking about it in terms of we're desperate and our lives depend on it. I think the Browns have got to use this really as a rallying cry. I think it's time for Baker Mayfield to show who he is and what he is as a leader and really kind of lead this team to the playoffs. They can still do it. They've got 5 division games left.
You got the Ravens coming up twice here.
Yes. So, they have the opportunity to do it, but they're going to have to dig deep. And somehow this team's going to have to really turn it around and find the passing game that's basically non-existent right now.
Thank you, Mary Kay. We appreciate your time as always.
Thanks for having me.
Mary Kay Cabot, the Browns beat writer for Cleveland.com, The Plain Dealer, and a Browns analyst for WKYC TV.